Hello friends, in the last video we have seen Panchayati Raj system and municipality system in India. This video we are going to see about Election Commission of India, which is located in New Delhi. The content of presentations are introduction, structure, appointment and tenure of commissioners, administrative powers, role and functions of ECI, advisory jurisdiction and quasi-judicial functions, budget and expenditure, model code of conduct, state election commission and summary. Introduction. The Election Commission of India, abbreviated as ECI, is a constitutional body responsible for administering elections in India according to the rules and regulations mentioned in Constitution of India. The ECI was set up on January 25, 1950. The major aim of Election Commission of India is to define and control the process of elections conducted at various levels, Parliament, state legislature, and the offices of the President and Vice President of India. So, Election Commission's important role is to conduct MP and MLA election as well as indirect elections. It can be said that Election Commission of India ensures smooth and successful operations of the democracy. So what is the organization structure of ECI? Originally in 1950, the commission had only a chief election commissioner. Two additional commissioners were appointed to the commission for the first time on October 16, 1989. But they had a very short tenure ending on January 1, 1990. The Election Commissioner Amendment Act 1993 made the commissioner multi-member body, that is means three-member body. From 2nd January 1990 to 30th September 1993, it was a single member commission. And again, from 1st October 1993, it has become three-member commission. From 1993, 1st October, the concept of three-member commission has been in operation, with the decision being made by majority vote. Any difference in opinion comes among three-member body, that the decision is made by the majority vote. Appointment and tenure of commissioners. The President has the power to select Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioner. They have tenure of 6 years or up to the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. They have the same status and receive pay and perks as available judges of the Supreme Court of India. The payment of Election Commissioner and Chief Election Commissioner is equal to the payment of Judge of Supreme Court of India. Chief Election Commissioner can be removed from office only through acquisition by Parliament. Election Commissioner or Regional Commissioner shall not be removed from the office except on the recommendation of Chief Election Commissioner. What are all the administrative powers of ECI? Allotting territorial areas for electoral constituencies in the country, organize and amend electoral rolls, and register eligible voters, inform dates and schedule of elections and scrutinize nomination papers, give recognition to political parties and assign election symbols to them. ECI appoints to the following seats: Chief Electoral Officer, District Election Officer, Returning Officer, Electoral Registration Officer. So three-member body plays a key role to appoint these officers. They are conducting the elections. So what is the main functions of these officers? Chief Electoral Officer is appointed by ECI with the consultation of state or union territory to supervise the election work of state. For example, for MP elections are conducted by Chief Electoral Officer. District Election Officer, again it is appointed by ECI with the consultation of state government and union territory to supervise the election work of district. So MLA elections are carried out by District Election Officer. Again, Returning Officers, all the indirect elections are carried over by Returning Officer. And Electoral Registration Officer, his role is to maintain the voters list of direct and indirect elections. What is the role of Election Commission of India? Election Commission plays a vital role in organizing elections. The most critical challenge before Election Commission of India is to implement norms and the model code of conduct to ensure free and fair elections in the country. Its existence and independence are necessitated by history, which has revealed by self-governing elections and are not free from disruption. Towards this end, it has been empowered to supervise political parties and candidates to take appropriate action in case of violations. What is the key functions of Election Commission of India are as under. The Election Commission of India is considered as a guardian of free and reasonable elections. It issues the model code of conduct in every elections for political parties and candidates so that the decorum of democracy is maintained. It regulates political parties and registers them for being eligible to contest elections. It publishes the allowed limits of campaign expenditure per candidate to all the political parties and also monitors the same. The political parties must submit their annual reports to the ECI for getting tax benefit on contributions. It guarantees that all the political party regularly submit their audited financial reports. So what is the other powers handled by ECI? The Commission can repress the results of opinion polls if it deems such an action fit for cause of democracy. The Commission can remove for disqualification of members after the election if it thinks they have violated certain guidelines. In case of candidates is found guilty of dishonest practices during the election, the Supreme Court and High Court consult the Commission for take necessary action. The Commission can postpone candidates who fail to submit their election expenses accounts timely. What are all the main duties of ECA? To supervise, direct control and conduct all elections to Parliament and state legislatures, as also to office of the President and Vice President of India. We can easily call it as direct and indirect elections controlled by ECA. To set down general rules for elections, to determine constituencies and to prepare electoral rolls, to give credit to political parties, to allot election symbols to different parties and individual contestants, to appoint the tribunals for decisions of doubts and disputes arising among or in connections with the elections to Parliament and state legislatures. So what are all the advisory, jurisdiction power and quasi-judicial functions of ECA? The Commission also has advisory jurisdiction in the matter of post-election disqualification of sitting members of Parliament and state legislatures. Further, the cases of persons found guilty of corrupt practices at elections which come before the Supreme Court and High Court are also referred to the Commission for its opinion on the question as to whether such person shall be disqualified and if so, for what period. The opinion of the Commission in all such matters is binding as a President or as the case may be the Governor to whom such opinion is rendered. For any dishonesty is found in the contestant, it may be disqualified up to what period. The decision must be taken by the Election Commission with the consultation with the President for the central election. It must be consulted with the Governor for state election. The Commission has the power to disqualify a candidate who has failed to lodge an account of his election expenses within the time and in the manner prescribed by the law. The Commission has also power for reducing the period of such disqualification as also other disqualification under the law. ECI can disqualify or reduce the disqualify. So both powers it has. So what are all the budget and expenditure for ECA? The Secretariat of the Commission has the independent budget which is finalized directly in consultation between the Commission and the Finance Ministry of the central government. Major expenditure on actual conduct of elections is however reflected in the budgets of the constituent units of the central or state or union territories. The elections are being held only for Parliament. The expenditure is borne entirely by the central government. Especially for MP elections, all the expenditure comes to the central government, while for the elections being held for state legislatures budget, the expenditure is borne entirely for concerned state. In case of simultaneous elections to the Parliament and state legislature, the expenditure is shared equally between the central and state governments. For capital equipment, the expenditure related for preparation of electoral rolls and scheme for electoral identity cards to the expenditure shared equally. What is the meaning of model code of conduct? It is the rules and regulations given to the particular contesting parties or candidates to follow the rules and regulation. EC first issued a model code of conduct for political parties at the time of the 5th general elections held in 1971. Since then, the code has been revised from time to time and lays down guidelines as to how political parties and candidates should conduct themselves during elections. A provision was made under the code that from the time the elections are announced by the commission. So this model code of conduct, it is given to the political parties or candidates at the time of elections. For one example, ministers and other authorities cannot announce any financial grant, make promises of construction of roads, carry out any appointments in government and public undertakings which may have the effect of influencing the voters in favor of the ruling party. So they cannot announce such any promises to the voters. This is a one model code of conduct the political parties need to be follow. So what is the meaning of State Election Commissions, which is located in Gujarat? State Election Commission Gujarat was constituted in September 1993 under Article 243K of the Constitution of India. State Election Commission has been entrusted with the function of conducting free and fair, impartial state local body election. State local body election is responsible to the State Election Commission, such as Panchayati system as well as Municipality system. State Election Commission carries out activities related to preparation of wards, election division as per local bodies rules, decision of boundaries and distribution of seats along the preparation of voters list for the local body organization like Gram Panchayat, Taluka and District Panchayat, Municipality and Municipal Corporation of the state, and conducting general, midterm or by-elections and supervising them. These are the functions of State Election Commission. To organize election for local self-government such as Panchayat Raj system and municipality system. For all these functions, the authority is invested in the State Election Commission Article 243K, under which it has been empowered with the superintendent's direction and control of elections of local bodies. As per the election rules of such local self-government organizations, district election officer for Panchayat Samitis, district municipal election officer for election of municipality, and city election officers for the election of municipal corporation have been appointed, and the State Election Commission has empowered collectors for all the activities related to election of Gram Panchayat, whereas the delimitation and allocation of seats for various reserved categories, voters list, election program and other related activities are carrying out by State Election Commission. So these are all the officers appointed by State Election Commission in order to conduct smooth election of local body election. So finally, the summary. The Election Commission of India is responsible to organize direct elections of Parliament and State Legislative Assembly. Also hold responsible for indirect elections like President and Vice President elections or Speaker elections, like that. Indirect elections in Parliament and State Legislative Assembly. State Election Commission is responsible for local self-government elections of state, such as Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samitis, Zila Parishad, Municipal Corporation and Municipality. With this, we came an end of our discussion. Thank you.